Me and the girls visited UC Santa Cruz for a 2-hour walking
This part
tour.
of the campus is so pretty. Go across this bridge and then it's just surrounded by beautiful, beautiful trees. Oh, wow. They said that the original planning was that from one building you would just see trees and not see another building. But it's so pretty. Oh, I might have lost my group because I got distracted by the trees. Hopefully they're down here. It's so pretty. All right, I think we made it. We finally found the parking. Whoa, look at these redwood trees. It's nice that the parking area is right by these beautiful trees. Okay, campus tour. Proceed to park mobile zone in back. No, we don't want park mobile zone. We want regular A parking. Lab. That's the library and the science building. Earth and Marine Science Building here. Little field research, that's cool.
Between those two libraries, we have a grand total of 1.5 million books on this campus. So you technically have access to about 10 million books, I think, across every UC campus, maybe more. But we do have 1.5 million physical books on this campus. I also like to shout out, personally, a lot of the reading I do for both of my majors are research papers, to which I have access to most research papers as well through the university. So no more stuff. You can go in there whenever you want, as long as you've taken a safety course and they know you won't break all their stuff. But it's a great way, especially for a lot of our science and engineering students that are in that room, to use it for both academic purposes and also just if they want to make something, because a lot of our
That's the e-bikes for $30 a year. You can use it all year.
You can get there from campus without having to like trek your way down to the beach. We do have a bus for them. They do run a platform called Handshake, which is basically Indeed without all the people that have 25 years of experience. So it's a lot easier and a lot less competitive to get a job. On campus, off campus, and internship jobs are all put on Handshake from a variety of different people looking to hire college students. They know it's just college students on that platform and they're very aware of that. The last thing I want to say before we end the tour, I chose UC Santa Cruz because I was looking for 4 things when I came here. I toured in 2021 in the dead of COVID summer round 2 when there was not a single soul in sight. I wanted a school that was far away from home. I wanted a school that was by a city but not in a city. I wanted a school that had Greek life and had study abroad, and I found all of that here And when I drove up the one by the beach and then we drove into the redwoods and we found some part of campus, we got super lost and just wandered for like 3 hours. I looked at my dad and I said, this is where I want to go to school. And I haven't regretted it a day since. We are located in a very special place. The Bay Area is a lot of fun. I had only been up here a few times before I moved up to Santa Cruz, and I am still exploring and I still love it. I was down in Monterey this weekend. I was up in San Francisco last weekend. So it's a really great place to live. I really appreciate all of you guys. This has been a really fun tour for me. It was a little chaotic at the beginning, so apologies for that, but you guys have been a really fantastic group. I always love when people ask me questions because I feel a lot less boring. So, and thank you for laughing at all of my mishaps and or jokes at any given time during the tour. I'm gonna hang around for questions. Otherwise, most of your parking is up the hill and around the building. If you're not parked over there, I can point you in the direction of where you did end up parking because of our wonderful taps department that decided to cut off our parking today. So yeah.
Thank you.
Of course.
Thank you. Okay, made it down the hill. I parked all the way up there, and then I walked down. And I think this is the way to student services. I believe this is Hans Road. There's a bunch of buildings here. And there's a lot of these signs that says no drive-through and the barricades. So they're very confusing. Okay, I think this is it. Hopefully this is it. Did I find it? Is this the student building?
It was a bit challenging finding the tour and parking, but eventually I found where I was supposed to be, and the tour had already started.
That decide they still want to use Scantrons, but I maybe get 6 of them for a school year and it lasts me the whole thing, so it's not particularly common. Next door is our authorized apple seller, which is really nice because if you're like me and you lose your Apple Pencil studying for an organic chemistry exam during finals week and you're trying to draw reactions on an iPad with no Apple Pencil, that's your place to go. And they do sell everything at the student discount there, any and all Apple products, plus a bunch of other tech in there as well. Or ask them, because they're called a resource center for a reason. They're very good at finding solutions to problems that you may not be too familiar with solving. So it's a great place. The ERCs are Ethnic Resource Center. It's an umbrella for 4 individual resource centers. So African American, Chicanx.
Okay, this is where I was earlier, but this is kind of the main student center area. Okay, going to the housing for freshman housing.
All right, so I like to start our housing stop by talking about our residents. Basically, every college
Colleges, one university.
It's like a mini little neighborhood essentially. It's got apartments, it's got dorms, it's got a dining hall, it's got an academic building. All of your college classes, or let me rephrase, all of your academic classes will be scattered throughout all of campus. So I had a chem class in the Porter Academic Building. I had a writing class in the Stevenson Academic Building. They're just kind of classrooms that we use for things. A lot of discussion sections will happen in these. We'll pass the building later, but in the academic college buildings, you'll see a lot of those smaller discussion sections happening. So just for reference, just to kind of let you know, nothing related to major. Your academic classes that take place in your college, nothing in particularly related to that theme, just a classroom that the university is using for a class. Otherwise, we do have different departments. There are on campus living that particular building. So just that is the back of this. This is an apartment building. You can judge her. That is walk through. That is
Apartment building for dorm living.
Building A, which is our transfer building. It is massive. It is like 6 floors with like a bunch of rooms on each floor, and it is all transfer students. C, there's another giant building on the university. Same thing. Oh, this is sophomore year for transfer students. is terribly awkward, and I hated it both times I had to do it, but it did come in very handy. Because if something happens, your RA will come in with the form that has your signature on it, and they'll point at it and they'll say, here's what you agreed to, here's what you wrote down, here's your signature, don't do it again. So it's really just a great way to clear the air before you kind of start getting into the group living together, and you're gonna get out the effort that you put in. So that's that on that. That's my advice.
They definitely do a lot of walking, but the air is so nice and clean. So we're walking through the dormitory area. These are the apartments, the upperclassmen apartments. Look at the view of this building. Like, Noah's dorm looks at a parking lot, while you looked at a construction site. So look at this. Wow. It's so beautiful. That's so nice. Okay, here's some signs of the construction, but of the view of the bay, the Monterey Bay, it's so beautiful. Too bad there's all this construction happening. But we're on the back side of the housing area, and there's the soccer field and the sports field, and that's the sports center down there. But it's beautiful. Okay, there's some sports happening, but wow, what a beautiful location for a campus. So gorgeous. We came from back there. That's where the student housing is.
You can see the whole thing. But this is our east field with a half-mile track surrounding it. It's got paved meter marks every 100 meters. That is downtown Santa Cruz. Right behind the east field, beyond that is our beaches and bay. We are known for our beaches here. They're beautiful. Surfing is very popular down on the west coast. So we're a surfer. Boards, sleeping bags, camping stoves, tents, rafting stuff. Literally all of it. They've got it. Super discounted. I'm talking like $7 for a tent for like a weekend. Also, they plan trips for you. And you can rent the equipment from them. Again, still super discounted. So take a PE class on your schedule just like you could in high school. It's not required to graduate, thank God, or else I think I would cry. But they are 0 credit classes, which means they have no bearing on your graduation credit count or on your GPA. So they have no bearing on anything academic. They just show up on your transcript as a 0 credit class. And the only difference it makes is that you cannot take a lecture during your scheduled block for that class. Usually end up sunburned because I'm about as pale as a potato chip, but other people usually enjoy it more than I do because they don't end up with sunburns afterwards. Anyway, we're gonna head up and we're gonna talk about dining. Also, somebody asked me about construction. I do just want to like put a little PSA out there. No, there is not usually this much construction going on. You guys picked the dead middle of summer, the break between summer session 1 and summer session 2. So they are literally trying to fix everything right now because this is the single fewest amount of people they will have on campus all year long. So this is when they do all of their big construction projects. So don't fret, not everything will be closed when you get to campus here. Even if you're just looking around right now, they're doing construction on all this, there's construction on Hagar. This dining hall is closed because it's under construction. So it's really just our way of making sure that our campus stays safe for our students. But yeah, just PSA, not
Wow, look at the trees here. That's my favorite part. Ooh. From here, you get the view. If it wasn't for the construction, but beautiful.
It is. That's a beautiful. Every pair of sister colleges shares a dining hall. So just swipe your ID, scan your meal point card thing on your phone. That's an app. As is everything these days. It is optional. just come from local organic Santa Cruz County farms. And free coffee, which is my favorite part of it.
That's nice.
And you walk in, you swipe your ID, and you just take some food. It feels a little bit illegal, but it's not. The Red Free Market is the same thing. They've got dried goods, fresh fruit.
Heading over to humanities area of the campus and gonna talk about academics. Definitely has a lot of like great spaces to like work on studying or reading. Walking.
Building, and then humanities and soft science, social sciences is over there. We do have 5 academic divisions at this university. We've got humanities, arts, social sciences, physical education. Just keep that in mind when you're doing your applications and looking at majors for things. Otherwise, we have 75 majors on this campus and approximately 40 minors, give or take, depending on the year. Our top 5 in no particular order, majors that is, are psychology, computer science, game design, computer engineering, and business management and economics. So all 5 of those majors are in either Jack Basic Engineering or social sciences. So that should just give you a little bit of a perspective of how big both those divisions are. We won't see our arts department today, but they are located behind McHenry. If you are interested, I will point you in that direction after our tour is done. And then humanities, obviously you'll hear, but humanities and soft sci are kind of just spread out throughout the whole campus. It's kind of just wherever they can fit the classrooms and the classes, or just where it is. The humanities lecture hall, the name is misleading because you can have whatever classes in there. I had my organic chemistry class in there my sophomore year, not humanities related in the slightest. It's actually one of my personal favorite lecture halls on this campus. Our biggest lecture hall is Kresge 3105, seats 600 students. I've never seen it full. I don't know why it's that big, but it exists. The biggest classes they really ever have in there are general chemistry classes, because pretty much every single PV Sci major has to take at least one Gen Chem class. 3 Bs, just in my direct line of sight. Anyway, quarter system. It's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. Impeccably, perfectly fine. Anyway, quarter system, 10-week quarters, 1 week of finals, 1 week break, or, well, week at all, depending on what quarter we're talking about. Even summer is broken up into 2 quarters, so students get a break in the middle of classes. Summer is totally optional. Fall, winter, spring are mandatory. You usually take 2 or 3 lecture classes and 2 or 3 labs per quarter, depending on your major. 3 lectures is far and away, I think, the most common. And each of those lectures will usually come with a discussion section. Personally, I usually end up doing 3 lectures and 2 or 3 labs, just depending on what classes I'm taking that quarter. Otherwise, you are required to do 12 credits for a full-time student. 15 is the most common, 19 is the maximum. That makes more sense if you're actually looking at like a list of classes, but we kind of get used to that before you dip your toes all the way in. We do have approximately 20,000 students on this campus. We are a middle-sized UC, not as small as Riverside or Merced, but not as big as LA or Berkeley. We have about 2,000 grad students and about 18,000 undergrads. Those grad students will function as your TAs for all of your large lecture classes. Only about 15% of your classes will have over 100 students in them. But for the ones that do, you will have several TAs, and those TAs will hold discussion sections. And that's your traditional high school classroom setup. 30 kids, 1 teacher. You got a whiteboard or a chalkboard or...
Oh, whoops. Okay, it's fine. I missed the bus. There's the bus stop. We're doing the longest walk of the tour. Okay, here comes the Santa Cruz bus. Not a public transportation. Okay, finally found a sign that says where the campus tours are. Oh, okay, well, again, good thing we got here early. I dropped off the girls. I'm parking. Hopefully they're on the tour because I have no idea where I am. This campus is like a forest and a maze. Jeez. The campus is beautiful but it's under a bunch of construction, so the parking situation's kind of a mess. Well, good thing we're here an hour early and took us 45 minutes to figure out how to pay for parking and find the right parking lot. So unfortunately, it's really confusing, and about 6 other parents asked me where I was going, and it's like the blind leading the blind here. But I think I'm walking towards the tour now.